Hey everybody, welcome back to the Six Figure Agent Podcast. We got Kyle Handy on the line. How you doing, Kyle?
Doing well, AJ.
Thanks for joining me today.
Hey, absolutely, man. Excited to be here.
Definitely. Cool. So just a quick bio on Kyle. Kyle has a finance major from the University of Texas, San Antonio. He jumped into real estate at age 21 back in 2008 when the market was crashing, and he rode it up ever since.
Right.
He's worked in new home sales for a builder, owned a boutique real estate brokerage, and now is the team leader of the Handy team at EXP Realty in San Antonio. And he's also the leader of the Expand movement at EXP. He has a wife, 2 kids, a 2-year-old son, and a 3-year-old girl. He loves hanging out with family and friends, vacationing, and he loves his cars. Cool.
That's right.
Awesome bio. I love it. So let's jump back to 2008. Was this just your first job out of college then?
It was, yeah. Before this, I was detailing cars at a car wash here in San Antonio.
Okay. Awesome. What made you pick real estate?
My mom, actually, she had been a broker here in San Antonio for, probably, I guess, 15 years or so at that time. And, she'd always said that it was a worthwhile thing to get into. She had bought and sold a lot of properties. I bought my first property, I think, when I was 18 years old to move into while I went to college. And I actually made a decent amount of money on just flipping it back then. It was a little condo. And so I knew the power, and I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. I don't really have any other plans as far as what I'm going to use my finance degree for. So why don't I just start here and see where it goes?
Wow, that's awesome. So first job out of college, it obviously worked out well. And I mean, you're so young and you've already been in the industry for 10 years. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. There's nowhere else I'd rather be.
That's awesome. So let's jump into some numbers. So how many houses did your team sell last year, and what was your gross commission on that?
Yeah. So let me see here. Last year I did 56 homes. We did 13 million in business, 353,000 in GCI, and profit margin, I think, on that was about 35%.
Awesome. Love it. That's solid. And what do you think you guys will do this year? I know we're talking a little bit that your team's growing. So what's in store for 2018?
Yeah, so already we've done about half of what we did all of last year, which is pretty exciting just in the first 3 months. So we're on track, right around 150 units this year, right at about 30 million, and should put us at about 800,000 in GCI.
Wonderful, man. That is some growth there.
Yeah.
What would you accredit to that kind of rapid growth? I mean, if you've already done half of what you did all of last year in 3 months, I mean, what would you contribute to that?
Well, the biggest one was getting the right team in place. And so, last year we were proving out probably a lot of models. When I say we, a big part of, our growth is my partner here. His name's Curtis Dixon. He helps me in the operations side of the business. And last year, essentially what we ran with was, me as a sales agent. I had one other buyer's agent that I picked up about halfway through the year. And then I had 2 admin, my operations guy, Curtis, and then like a transaction manager / assistant. And we ran that way for, pretty much the whole year. It just kind of like, building some systems, some processes, some tools, proving out what would work as far as lead generation and lead conversion and who could do what and what could be expected. And then so, once we kind of, got a handle on it all and saw, what had worked for us that year, we made it a goal kind of in this first quarter and about, November, December of last year to start hiring more agents. And so we ramped it up. And so now, we're running, I've got, myself plus 5 agents plus 3 admin now. So of course, when you add on the people, of course, that helps get those numbers up pretty quickly.
Right. Exactly. That makes sense. So what's working for you in terms of hiring agents? Like these agents on your team, where are they coming from?
Yeah, referral. Basically, when we put it out there that we are looking to hire on our team, we put it out there to all of our business partners. We put it out there to all of our past clients, our sphere of influence, those types of people. That's how we've gotten every single person that we've hired. We haven't done any kind of advertisements, or we've done them, but we haven't hired anybody from them. We did them very small, but everything that we're getting is just word of mouth.
That's awesome. Yeah, I found that to work the best. Like your vendor partners, lenders, inspectors, past clients sometimes refer people. The ads, we've done the ads and haven't had much success with them. I feel like you get a lot of unlicensed people or or people who have a license but aren't doing anything. And
Exactly. Yep.
yeah, cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about where your business is coming from. What are like your three main sources?
Yeah. So last year, our business was about 75% referral and SOI. So, but mostly off of my referral and SOI. And 25% of that was like internet marketing, internet lead gen. So Facebook, Google pay-per-click, all that kind of stuff. Now this year, we can already kind of see a shift because we put a lot of effort into the internet side of things last year. And most people may or may not know who's in the internet game, that it takes 8 to 10 months on average for you to kind of incubate those leads and start having them come through. And now those leads that we started doing back June, July of last year, when we really turned on the internet marketing engine, are finally starting to come through now. And so I would say that by the end of this year, our business will probably shape up closer to a 50-50 split, referral SOI versus internet generated, or possibly even 60-40 in favor of the internet generated.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. With the internet leads, it's a much longer buying cycle. I always teach that. How are you finding are your conversion rates on those internet leads?
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, the conversion rates, still fairly low, because we're still waiting on a lot of those leads to kind of convert, as far as, those ones that came 8 to 10, months ago. But now we're starting to see those. And what we're tracking is kind of, I guess we have to kind of track a little bit ahead of that. And what we've tracked is like our nurture percentage, leads that, basically we take, that's just a phone number and an email, that actually convert to like a buying opportunity that we, they know who we are, we know who they are. We track kind of our nurture percentage. And roughly right now, that's about 18% or so. So just 1 out of 5. And so those are people that we've put in our pipeline. And, and then from there, we also track then how many of those people turn into clients. So then they have, like a signed either buyer's agreement with us or a listing agreement with us. And surprisingly, that number is about 1 out of 5 of the nurtures as well. So, so those are kind of the two like upfront metrics that we're tracking. Our conversion ratio completely on all of the leads that we generated, and we generated probably about 3,000 leads or so in the last 8 months, is roughly, I mean, it's probably less than 1%. I think it's like probably 0.8%, 0.6%, something like that if you looked at a true conversion ratio. But what we can tell is based on how many nurtures we've put in the pipeline, how many clients that we have that we're actively looking for homes for, once these ones actually start closing on that home, which is kind of that full internet conversion life cycle, we'll hopefully be closer to that 2%, which is, where most people in the internet marketing game, see kind of their conversion ratios at.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty neat. Yeah, for us, we've always been around about 3% conversion on that, probably 2 to 3%. If you're really bad at internet leads, you're probably at 1%. But the nurture component of that, I like how you guys are tracking that. What's like the criteria that you have for a nurture? Is it like, hey, they said, hey, we're not ready to buy, but reach back out in the future. Then you put them on a saved search on your website. What's that look like?
Yeah, a nurture means that they basically fill out a G2 form, we call it. So a G2 form is just like an intake form. So like when we get them on the phone, we got to get kind of what their motivation is, what their time frame is, what their price range is, what they're looking for, what their current situation is. Like they got to answer all these questions, and at that point, if they've answered them, even if it's, someone that's like 6 to 12 months out, they become a nurture opportunity. Beyond 12 months, they just go into kind of our cold opportunities, which we'll still follow up with those people, but they're not considered a nurture. And so, that's kind of how we establish what a nurture is.
That's pretty cool. So 18% of the leads are filling out your G2 form.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, it's 18% that of any lead that comes through. So about 1 out of 5, just a little under, becomes G2'd. And so, that's the nurture opportunity. And then 1 out of 5 of those ends up signing a rep with us at some point.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Why'd you call it a G2?
I don't know. It's something Curtis honestly came up with. I don't know if it's from a previous job or something. Okay. I think he used to work for Aerotech. I think maybe that's what they called him there. And so we just started it, the name stuck. So
that's cool. I love that. And are you emailing that over to them for them to fill it out, or is it like an online form?
It's something we do on the phone with them. So
okay, cool.
Yep, we're just, asking them the questions, they're answering them. We're writing down the answers as soon as we get it. And then, once we get those answers, that's when, that agent can, mark that this person has filled out the G2 and we move them to the nurture status.
Cool. Love it. So on the seller side of your business, are most of your listings still coming from Sphere, or have you been able to put in some kind of lead gen lever for that side of it?
Yeah. So, the majority in the past has always been sphere of influence and referral, that kind of business. Most recently, though, we have been starting to get some internet generated ones because, like I say, that business is really just kind of starting now. I mean, the internet stuff is really hitting home now, but even out of those people that are starting to hit these days, a lot of them do have homes to sell. Within Facebook, that's one of our primary platforms. It shows there's a demographic in there. If you look at like a Facebook pixel, I don't know if you've heard of that
Yep.
or not, but yeah, you look into your Facebook pixel, it tells you all the demographics of the people that are, on your website or, that you're showing ads to, those kinds of things. And when we target buyers, most of our ads are buyer specific, hey, check out, the top homes in this zip code, or check out, the top pool homes under this certain price range. So they're definitely buyer focused advertisements. But when we go in the back end and we look at, the demographics of the people that are receiving our ads or are clicking on our stuff, it actually shows that 75% of them are homeowners. So,
Wow.
so that was kind of the eye-opening thing for me, was thinking that by doing this, that I'm only going to get buyers. That's not really been the case. I mean, a number of the people that we're talking to and working with right now, we just actually sold a house for a lady last week. That was a Facebook ad, put her house on the market as a $150,000 house. They're moving up to a $300,000 house. Was a Facebook advertisement. And so, those things are going to start existing more and more. Even the buyers that we're working with, most of them have some kind of a selling opportunity or selling something to sell before we can actually start helping them with the buy. And that's kind of why they're waiting. So they might have registered in December and now they're like, hey, we're waiting until after spring break, or we're waiting until the summer to sell our house, but then we'll be ready to buy. So, I mean, that's all the stuff that we're getting right now, even with the internet marketing.
That's pretty cool. So for people not listening, the Facebook pixel, best way to explain that is basically just, it's a kind of like a cookie that tracks data, and you can retarget people based on that Facebook pixel. Is that how you'd explain it?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So that's pretty cool. So 75% are actually homeowners. Is that just data that you're gathering after they've already come into your website, or are you actually targeting them based on them being homeowners?
No, I mean, I'm looking, we've got a few different filters that we look for when we do our advertisements, but I mean, we're targeting first-time home buyers. We're targeting, all sorts of people, that, people that like Zillow, people. So, I mean, it's nothing that, we're targeting homeowners. So that's why, like I say, I was pretty surprised when I saw that statistic.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing in our targeting that specifically says homeowners. We have ones for, income levels. We have ones for, like what their interests are and things like that, but nothing that's targeting specific homeowners.
Yeah, so that is interesting, because when we were, when I was running my team, we would do Zillow, Realtor, pay per click, and typically about 30% would actually end up listing with us to buy. So for me, that kind of just said, hey, 30% also own a home. So I'm gonna do what you're talking about, get a pixel on my team's website and kind of see what data might be coming through, because maybe there's an opportunity that we could capitalize on there. Very cool.
Yeah, I had tried for the longest time to try and find, seller ads to get, more listings and stuff like that. And I would target homeowners, but, honestly, the cost per lead was super high, and I just could never get them to convert. So, I kind of just shifted my focus, said, well, hey, we'll be, buyer focused. And then, surprisingly, now that the data is kind of coming back, we're starting to get these, more and more opportunities to help these people. We're starting to realize a lot of it, they do have homes to sell. So,
Yep, I agree 100%. I was just having that conversation the other day with somebody. It's like, if you're going to do Facebook ads, focus on buyers. Pay per click, focus on buyers, because there's not like a code that's been cracked yet on how to
yeah,
get sellers through
I
those types of
figured
ads
it
yet.
out. Yeah.
There's a lot of people selling it to you. You can buy it from people, but the conversions aren't happening.
All over. Yeah.
Cool. Are you managing your Facebook ads, or do you have somebody else doing that for you?
Yeah, I manage them all.
Cool. So how do you become the expert? I know you're a techie guy. Did you just figure it out on your own, or did you get coaching on that?
No, well, I mean, I've done it all. So, I mean, that's my big thing is I love researching. I'm kind of a tech, nerd. I'll,
Yeah.
hours just reading articles and, watching YouTube videos and, going to webinars and things like that. And I'll watch it all. So, I mean, I focus, I've done Travis Tom. I signed up for his coaching classes. I watch the stuff, like, the GSD Mo, Josh Smith, Curator, Chris Smith, all these guys. I'm on their stuff constantly reading, different Facebook groups, just, seeing what's working for other people, and then networking, honestly, just, finding agents that are doing the same thing and, maybe in a different market. And I'm just asking them, what's working for you guys? Can I copy your exact ad copy? I mean, I've done that a number of times. And so, that's really it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I think that's great. It's really just having that learning mindset, being coachable, taking what's working from other people, seeing how you can use it. Love it.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, let's jump into an aha moment. So take us to a moment in time where you may had an aha maybe about business, your personal life, and tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I kind of talked a little bit about it. I mean, my aha moment was probably, third quarter last year, 2017. I had, the one agent that I was talking about, and, we were having success, but I mean, it definitely wasn't what our goal was for last year. Our goal last year was to hit 80 homes. And, like I told you, I think we did, we did 56 homes. So we
Yep.
fell short of our goal. And when I started looking back, I was, trying to figure out, like, why is that? Why didn't we hit our goal that we had originally set out at the beginning of the year? And, the only thing I could come up with was, we needed more sales agents. I needed more help. And, we focus so much on the systems and the processes. And it's, and I guess at the end of the day, that's kind of what my biggest aha was, kind of, I've always preached, like, hey, go in, even maybe if you don't have 100% of all the data, if you got 80% or something, if you're not completely ready, like, just go in and do it and you'll learn from it. Well, I wasn't practicing what I was preaching, when it came to, like, growing the team and actually, building a team that could be, capable of doing that amount of production, at least the way that we were doing it. And so, when I realized, it's like, because I went through the whole process, I had an agent, we had her salaried, versus, doing, the traditional, split, kind of stuff. And honestly, what that did, it just kind of hindered my growth. I couldn't grow as quickly because, when you bring on an agent, you got to pay a salary. That's of course going to make you, tighten up the wallet real quick before you just, go out and start hiring 5 agents. And so once I made the switch and I was like, hey, we're going to go ahead and try and grow the team. We're going to go to, no salaries. We're going to do, more of the traditional split model, and then just grow and get more people. I mean, that's helped by leaps and bounds, because, I mean, lead generation was not an issue of ours. It really was just, having enough people to work, what we had built, and then training them, to be able to duplicate what we did. But yeah, I mean, the biggest aha was just really, letting myself be vulnerable to, to go out there and kind of, like, say, hey, I'm just going to go out there and do this. I'm going to grow the team, quickly, not, by one agent every 6 months or every year. I mean, that takes forever. And so when I kind of had that aha moment, I was like, look, if I want to get, my ultimate goal is, I want to be doing, about $1 million in GCI. And I knew that I wanted to be there in the next, year to 2 years. And like I say, this year, I don't think we'll quite be there. It'll be like 800,000. But, the only way I was going to get there is to start, bringing on 5 agents, something along those lines, and eventually get to about 10 agents. So that was my biggest aha, was just, you can think about things all day long, and you can, kind of plan. I mean, we had planned for, like I say, 3 months before 2017 even started, and thought in our minds how it would work. But I mean, if you're just only focused on, like, planning and not actually being willing to fail or being willing to, make it changes quickly, you're going to stunt your growth. And so that was a big aha I had.
Yep. That's good. I love that. Let's jump into the famous 4. What is your favorite book?
Man, I like Failing Forward, John C. Maxwell. If you've read that one, that's I mean, like I said, I live by that, man. I love to just, try new things. And, I mean, that's the only reason I am where I am, is because I've probably failed more than most people. I've learned every way to not, to do something wrong. And so that way now at this point, I've got a better chance of doing it right.
Yeah, I love the title. I haven't read that, but we'll link it up into the show notes so people listening can go check that out.
Yep.
One of my favorite quotes, I don't know who it's by or if it's attributed to anybody, is the road to success is paved with failure.
Yep.
So I believe that philosophy 100%. You know, the people who fail the most are ultimately going to be the ones who are the most successful.
Yeah.
Because they were
Totally.
willing to try things and get better and see what works, see what doesn't work.
I totally believe it, man. 100%.
Cool. What would you say is the best advice you've ever received?
Hmm. There's there's a quote, something about, I think it's Richard Branson. I've heard it, 5 years ago, and I don't know probably the quote exactly, but I know, kind of the gist of it. But it's basically, if you can change other people's lives, you have a business. And so, like, if you can do something that, changes people, whether it's, an experience, whether it's, something that you're doing to, enhance their life, become a friend or whatever it is. If you have something that does something like that, well, now at that point, I mean, you can definitely build a business off of it. And so that's just been something that, when I started my team, when I started my brokerage, everything, I've just thought of how can I change somebody's life, for the positive. And honestly, that's, been our entire philosophy growing our team. And now, with everything that we're doing with our business.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's great. And the bigger the business you're going to have means the more lives you're changing, the more lives you're impacting.
Yep.
That's cool. I look at, I've heard a lot of people talk about this, but it's cool when you think about, like, the more money you make, the bigger bank account that you have is a direct reflection of the amount of people that you've helped.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I heard one guy, or I read
Okay.
in a book, and he said, like, each dollar is almost like an appreciation token.
Yeah.
So if you have $1 million, it means you've put out enough value where people appreciated what you did for them enough to give you 1 million appreciation tokens.
Dude, I love that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's actually a really cool way to think of it. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty neat. It's a good way to look at money and success and abundance.
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's go into the next question here on the famous four. What is your favorite tool?
Ooh, real estate related, I assume. You're not talking about my hammer or my.
Not your hammer. I know you are Kyle Handy.
That's right. And you trust me. You ask my wife, and I mean, she's got me doing some projects at the home, so I've got plenty of tools that I use. But my favorite real estate related tool right now, man, we're using two that I think are really crushing it. We use two. One's a service. Agentology. It's kind of like an inside sales department that we've been using, to kind of just on a kind of a trial basis, trying to see how it's. And so far, the feedback has been really good. I mean, we're giving them, a percentage of our leads that are going through, and they're kind of doing the nurturing, and that's been working out really well for us. And then on the other end, the actual tool that we use, and we've used this for some time now, is Agent Legend. Man, we love it. I can't speak more highly about that program. It sends out, automated text messages, automated voicemails, automated emails. It links up to your CRM system, so it logs all the notes inside of it. Because most CRMs, they'll send out drip campaigns like emails, but where we get the most response is definitely from the text messages and the people calling us back off those automated voicemails. So that's where the power is.
Yeah, I love that. I see agentology being used a lot more. It looks like a pretty powerful. Use the Agent Legend, and so I know that works great.
Yep.
Cool, love it. What CRM system are you using?
So we use Firepoint right now. I've used just about all of them in the past. I was a big Boomtown user for a while. Love Boomtown. I think they're really good. We are on Firepoint currently. We're going to make the switch over to KV Core here pretty soon. Just we got about 7,000 leads in our database that all have saved searches and notes and this and that. And so we've kind of made it, that's going to be like a third quarter priority of ours. After the summer, after the spring is kind of over, we'll start working on migrating some of those leads over into the conversion platform, because we do like conversion. It's included with our brokerage, so that's the best thing about it. I'm not going to keep spending the money at Firepoint, but yeah, the biggest holdback has just been the fact that it's going to be a transition for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I'm right there with you. My team's on the same trajectory of you. We went Boomtown, Firepoint, and then we'll be going to KV Core too.
That's awesome.
So
Nice.
That's cool. And what do you love to do outside of business?
Oh man, well, when I ever have any free time, it's usually spending time with my family for sure. Like that's my top thing. I've got a wife and two kids at home. I got a 2-year-old little boy, just turned 2, and then I've got a 3-year-old girl who will be turning 4 here in a few months, and so spending as much time as I can with them. I mean, shoot, we go to the zoo, we go to trampoline parks, we do all this fun stuff. I mean, that's where I really spend all my time. And then outside of that, my own little personal hobby is I'm a big car guy. So I mean, I just love hanging out with car people, talking about cars, buying too many cars, all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. What's like your dream car?
Oh man, I mean, shoot, I'd probably be a sucker for, some kind of a Ferrari. I mean, I don't know what it'll be right now. I mean, I like I'd take even just a 430 or 458 or something like that. I love Ferraris, so that would be a big dream of mine. Most currently, I'm a big Corvette guy though too, so I already got me a Corvette, so I like that.
Oh, nice. What year?
It's a 15 Z06.
Nice. Nice. Love it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and end on this. Share a piece of parting advice that you'd give to a new agent trying to break through $100,000 per year in net income, and then the best way we can connect with you for referrals.
Absolutely. So my thing would be, first off, when you're getting started, I would definitely say to start with your sphere of influence, your referrals. If it were me and I didn't want to spend a ton of money, I didn't have a lot of money. One thing I think is powerful is still to do some level of Facebook marketing. And when I say that, it's actually pretty cheap. When I started this whole thing, a couple of years ago doing Facebook marketing, I marketed just to my sphere of influence, and you can create lists inside of Facebook ads, and just upload your database. Maybe it's 200 people or 100 people, whatever it is, and then just run ads to them so they at least see that your posts are coming up in front of them on a regular basis. And that, I mean, it takes you $1 or $2. You can run a post for $2 and hit your entire database of 100 to 200 people. And so they constantly see that, you just run $1 to $2 every single, week or something like that. So you might spend less than $10 a month and still be able to hit your whole database multiple times. So like social media for me is big. So, I mean, I would say sphere of influence, referrals, with, my focus being on my, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, those are the two biggest ones. And, but then to stay active in it, to actually have content to push out to people so they know that you're in the industry. I've been doing open houses at that same time. So, they're pretty much free. Just buy signs, go out, do open houses, leverage that, take pictures of the event, and of course, any new listings that you have, post those up. I don't even, half the open houses and half the listings that we post on our social media is not even our own, to be honest with you. I mean, we get permission from the listing agent to be able to co-market with them. And when they say, so we'll have certain properties that we want to, to advertise, we'll see ones that have good pictures or something like that. We'll reach out to that agent, ask if we can, list it with them, and they'll say yes. And we'll ask them if we do an open house. They say yes. And so it makes it look like you're constantly busy. And honestly, if you just did that, I bet you, I mean, an agent would sell 15 to 20 homes in their first year just by doing that consistently.
That's awesome. That's great advice. I love it.
Yeah.
And where can we send you some referrals?
Yeah, absolutely. Find me on Facebook. That's the best place for me. I mean, you can find me anywhere, but if you really want to get in touch with me, the quickest, literally just search Kyle Handy on Facebook, find my personal profile, send me a friend request. I'm happy to take them. Just send a message with it, let me know, where you're from or who you are, just so I don't think you're somebody random. Of course, I'm sure you get a ton of, spam people on Facebook. So
Yeah.
just send me a message along with your friend request so I know who you are and what you do. And I'm always happy to link up, to connect, to become referral partners, to become, just people that we can talk business about, do these phone calls with. I love this stuff. So I talk about it every day. So anybody who wants to talk about it with me, reach out.
Cool. Awesome. Love it. And just a reminder, everybody, he's in San Antonio area. So when you get a referral for that, find him on Facebook.
Absolutely. Thanks, AJ.
Yeah, it's been fun. We'll talk soon.
All right.